GM. Excuse me. GM. So, I think Trump, the Trump coin, which I do hold some, if you remember, Trump, Bowden, Apu are the three meme coins that I'm holding small bags of. I want to size up on them, but I don't think we're necessarily ready. But the Trump coin is probably signaling a bottom here. I mentioned this, I think it was probably on the last altcoin request stream, that if Trump pushed up into these highs, which it did with that announcement, and then rejected, it would go to new lows if it wasn't ready, if it wasn't time. But instead, it's pushed higher. So I'm looking at this red path now for Trump, the MAGA coin. Regardless of whether it does that red path or it goes higher, you're looking at a higher low to form somewhere around here. And that probably then leads it towards being ready for a breakout. So it can either chop around at that level, push up higher, drop back. And then you'll be looking at new highs. I'd be looking at new highs from here. So, two paths there. Yellow and a green. It could still fall back inside. It seems unlikely though, because that would have been a news. That was Trump's when Trump was having a speech and was talking about crypto, and he's very pro crypto in his language. And the market reacted well to that. Then it initially tried to sell off, and now it's pushing again higher. Decent volume on that first push. It now needs to confirm and hold outside of this range, right? And the important level here within this range is right down there. So the volume has obviously been distributed in the middle of this range. We pushed up out of it. It dropped back the following day, held at the point of control, and is now pushing to try and close outside. If it does that, then where you want to look at is up here, right where we are now, in this upper end range. The battle was really lost at the daily bands just when they started to flip red or lose their strength. And so it's starting to move in the right direction. An interesting kind of subplot is Trump's VP. I'm probably not going to trade this, but there are coins moving because I think it's getting very close. I don't know when. I don't think they've said. Trump's been kind of keeping it close to his chest about who his VP is going to be and also when he's going to announce him. But there are coins for each of them. I think Tim Scott, judging by this, Tim Scott, I guess, is the favorite because there's a Tim Scott coin and it's just been fucking flying. I didn't buy this and I don't think I will buy it because I missed the vast majority of the initial move. You know, literally 20, 30x in a matter of a few days. And it's relatively illiquid. It's only 136k liquidity. So I haven't touched this. And I don't know whether that kind of coin is going to be going to end up being the winner. But you've got a bunch of them. Doug Burgum, which I don't even know. No one's even made it. Marco Rubio. I think the other one is Christie Noam. Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting how none of them have been made. There is a Tim Scott one though. The way this one wins is he needs to be made the VP. Like, Trump has to nominate him as his vice president. If he doesn't, that's going to nuke to zero, obviously. And so it's a bet on, it's just beta, right? It's very simple. Just beta. You got Trump at 7.62, which is 350 mil market cap. Trump's VP, if it is Scott, shouldn't be 1.5 million. That's the logic, right? Now, does that hold true? And that obviously you assume as well that the Trump token itself is going to go higher, right? So if the Trump token goes to 1 billion, what's his VP worth? Is he worth 1.5 million? Probably it's worth more. But also, Tim Scott is not currently the nominee, right? And we don't know when Trump's going to do it. I don't know if there's data on when people tend to announce these things. When did Biden nominate Kamala? August 11th, right? That would have been 2020. When did Trump nominate Pence? July 14th in 2016. Trump indicated to Mike Pence that he's moving towards choosing him as his vice president. Here's an article from the end of April. Who will Trump pick as his vice president? Trump has teased crowds a lengthy shortlist. However, tradition knows we still have months before learning. Yeah, like, this is the thing as well. I don't think there's a benefit to him announcing too early or announcing earlier than would be customary, right? So, do I think that Trump will announce in the next few days? No. Next few weeks? Maybe. But it seems like all the signs will be that we have to wait a little bit longer. Obviously, that doesn't mean that, you know, these coins won't get speculated on. You're definitely not you're definitely not waiting for Tim Scott to get announced to buy it. That would make no sense. You're supposed to front run these things. But there's no guarantee it will be Scott. There doesn't even seem to really be markets for the other ones. The Doug guy doesn't have one. Elise Stefanik doesn't seem to have one. Or does it? No. Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Kristi Noem, Byron Donalds, Tulsi Gabbard. There is a Tulsi Gabbard coin, but it's like one of the stupid cartoon ones. I'll have this one as well. Yeah. Don't touch that. Fucking 4 transactions in the last 24 hours. No. Vivek obviously has his own coin. Don't think there's much chance that Vivek will actually be the one chosen. Doesn't seem to be any, not much liquidity on those. So it seems like the Tim Scott one actually has liquidity. It has volume, a bit of volume, nothing crazy, and is moving. Is that just because it's the only one that exists? Or is that because he's actually going to be the VP? I don't think 136k liquidity coin is going to be insiders who know betting on it, right? It's not going to be insiders in the Trump team fucking aping 136k liquidity shitter. I think the market probably just thinks Tim Scott could be the VP. And there's a coin there. Let's speculate on it. I think we are looking at July or August. So it was July for Trump, it was August for Biden, and we're currently in May. So you got June, July, August. I would like to see this probably go down. I mean, I don't know if it will, but I'd like to see a significant pullback. Pullbacks that it's had so far here, it had a 63% pullback over here. Right? That was the deepest pullback it's had. If you are going to take a bet on it, obviously it probably had a 60% wick here, in a day. So it had another deep pullback here. If you are going to bet on it, I don't think I mean, it's up to you. I'm not, to be very clear, I don't own any. I will say if I do, but I don't. And I don't know if I will. It's not liquid enough to really take anything other than a very, very small position. I just find it interesting because presidential betting is going to be one of the, anything around politics is going to be one of the most active and have the most attention. It doesn't mean that, buying presidential coins, whatever, is going to necessarily be a winner, but it certainly is one of the areas in the market that should have the most activity. So keep an eye on that. It's an interesting sideshow. I do think that Trump and Bowden, so the Trump coin and the Bowden coin, they'll be the two to focus on. Don't worry that they're higher market caps. They're meme coins. Market cap doesn't matter. Right? You don't have to go and try and find something at 2 million because something at 200 million you think is too high. Trust me, these things can go fucking crazy. Right? Again, there's no reality here. They don't have to be anchored to any realistic pricing. And the closer we get to the election, if the market remains bullish or strong, you'll see some bigger moves. Anyway, that's it. GM. See you later.